Hey y'all, it's Nancy the Handy Scandy. Welcome back for another crafty venture.
And today I invite you to join me as I make a set of 4 mixed media ATCs with the Cheers theme.
And so I start by stamping out these images. Now these are from Jane's Doodles. It's called Happy Hour. These were gifted to me by the sweet Tina Cappa over at Crafty Bean. If you have not checked out her channel, make sure you hop over there and give her a look. She's an amazing creator and she always does wonderful destashes. She buys big lots from other people and she goes through them, she sorts them, she cleans them, she gathers them together in meaningful combinations that she calls lots, and she sells them at unbelievable prices. You guys want to check her out. Besides that, she's an amazing human being and a good friend. So all that being said, go check out Tina Cappa. I'll link to her channel downstairs in the description box for sure. So I have stamped these out with my VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink onto some watercolor card. Now I have these, they're basically postmark size folders. One is a Strathmore Mixed Media postcard. The other is Fluid 100 Cold Press Finish watercolor card. I think it was the Fluid 100 that I used. I have them both sitting here on my desk, so I'm not 100% sure, but either would hold up to watercolor, so that's why I'm not 100% sure. I feel like it was the Fluid 100 watercolor paper. But nonetheless, I'm using my Arteza watercolor, I think it's a 36 half pan set, and I have always enjoyed using these watercolors, but I don't know, now that I have some different qualities and different types of watercolors, these aren't, I don't know how to say it. They're not bad. They're not bad watercolors at all. Please don't hear that in what I'm saying. But I just think I like some of my others better. So, but every now and then you got to pull out your old stuff, give it a whirl, remind it that it's still loved. Remind yourself what you loved about it at one time, which is why you got it, and that kind of thing. So anyway, that's exactly what I'm doing. And I'm using the art of the stamps to see exactly what is in the glasses, because this is watercolor card, so it has a little bit of tooth to it, so the images don't always stand out with the good details showing. So like I said, I'm using the stamps themselves, or the actual image that's printed onto the acetate, to see what I need to paint in what way. So figuring out where the leafy bits are, where the ice cubes are, where the different fruit, where they overlap, that kind of thing. And at this point, I did not know what I was going to do. I just knew that I wanted to go ahead and color these up, and then we'll see where the crafty winds blow me, and we'll get there as we go. I just thought these would be fun, like different citrus drinks. The one with the different fruits, I kind of make it into a sangria, or at least that's what my brain was telling me. I have no idea what this one is. Something orange. And I tried to make the straws coordinate with the drinks themselves. Obviously, it doesn't matter, but just for aesthetics, I thought it was fun. Now, often when you're doing any kind of media like this, it's going to be about the layers, whether you're using colored pencils or alcohol ink markers or watercolor paints, it's going to be about the layers. So I do multiple layers, and I even come in with a black fine liner to go over some of the details, just to make things stand out, because I did not leave my stamps in the Misty. Had I left my stamps in the Misty, I would have been able to re-stamp it again and not had to worry about losing some of the detail. But that was my process. So you can see I'm using a slightly lighter color to color the drink than the color of the fruit. I do intensify it a little bit from time to time, but ultimately it dries back. I always have a little paper towel handy to kind of dab up any excess. And if you saw earlier, the little blueberries, when I painted them, that bled into the strawberry. So I used the corner of my paper towel to pick up some of that excess paint and water, and then I was able to put more of the red color back into the strawberry. And here's where I feel like this now looks like a bit of a sangria. I think that's fun. Just a slight greeny blue on all the glasses, just to show that they're glass. And then once I'm all done, I use my handy dandy scissors and I fussy cut them out. Now, if you are unaware, I think most of us are probably familiar with fussy cutting, but the easiest way to do it is to move your image more than you move your scissors. That doesn't mean you hold your scissor hand completely static or completely still, but you definitely want to move that other hand much more. So here's where I'm coming in with my fine liner, just trying to define some of those details again, because I couldn't restamp. There was no way I was going to line all four of these back up. So, but then I feel like it's getting too bold. The black ink is too bold. So this is my own internal battle. All right, now I set those aside to dry, and I have all of these bits that were in my my stash to be gel plate printed on. And I thought, I don't want a gel plate, but I just do want to do some brayer work. So this is the next day. You can see all my fussy cut mixed drinks up there in the left-hand corner. But I have a bunch of different acrylic paints out. These are from Michaels, whatever their brand name is, I can't remember. But I'm just using my brayer and my 3x5 gel plate to load up my brayer. And I'm using a variety of different colors, and all of that stuff that was on those papers before, that will all be covered up with this acrylic paint as I brayer on. And it gives such a cool look. A brayering technique, or any kind of brayering technique, just gives you a beautiful kind of roll-off effect, and it's so pretty. And then for the ones that didn't get any of that particular color or didn't get much, I just pick up the paint directly from that little gel plate. So I'm just working my way through, brayering out the color, going across each of the little panels, adding some of each color to each. And like I said, if I don't get much on one, then I will just pick it up directly from the gel plate. You can see with each layer that anything that was left showing from the background disappears a little bit more and a little bit more. Now I want to add some white to kind of brighten it back up. Because that red paint is still wet, it kind of turns a little pink. I need a little bit more because I want some of that white on that big one there as well. Now, if you're doing something like this and you're afraid that adding another layer is going to mess it up, then stop. If you like where you're at, then don't add any more to it. But if you don't like where you're at, you may just be one more layer away from what you would deem perfection. So keep going until you feel like your heart is content. is so much fun. And then I want a little bit of drama. So I've got my metallic black. A little drama, a little grunge. And I hit them with my heat tool before I move on. And again, if you don't like where you're at, you can always add another color or another layer, or you can do something like this. You can put a paste or paint or an ink or something over the top, and that pushes all of that brayering process to the background. Now I've got a variety of different stencils here that I'm just trying to give some love and attention to. And then I have this one that Tina Cappa gave me, and it just has these beautiful happy words, and I just thought, I want some happy. Give me some happy. These colors are happy, even though they've got a moody grunginess to them. I still think they're happy. And I like to have my stencils bleed into each other. I think it adds a cool effect. And I wasn't worried that some of these were cut wonky or anything like that. None of that bothers me, because I'll just trim it down where I need it. And then I've taken that die set on the left. It is from This Calls for Confetti. I can't remember the name of it, and I don't have it in front of me. Or do I? I do not. I thought maybe I did. I have another one. Anyway, it's a postcard die set that came out last Christmas, and I wanted to use that smallest rectangle frame because it is ATC size. My only problem was that it also cuts out the inside panel, and it's only a problem on here, and it's not a major problem because you can see I just used the double-sided tape and went around those edges so that they adhere. And then I use that tape to adhere my brayered and stencil panels down. Now I did not do anything to the back. I could have added another layer, another piece of cardstock, a white or a black or whatever I wanted, just to finish off the back sides. But they're okay. You can see the seams from where the center panel cut out, but they're not coming apart in any way, so I just left them. And you could see I used my guillotine trimmer to trim down the different pieces. Sometimes I have to trim down the base, sometimes, and most of the time, it's the little panels themselves that need trimming down. That one was on there wonky. So I pulled it up, used my liquid glue to give me that little wiggle room. And here's where I'm going to stamp the ATC thing on the back. And these ATC stamps were gifted to me by Miss Janna Stamps. And I just do that with all four of them. I take the card to the stamp itself. That's a little bit easier for me. I'm trying to figure out where the best place is to put my little drinks without covering up too much of the other details. I'm liking it. They're a lot of fun. And I almost always use liquid glue, even with my double-sided foam tape, because if I have to move something around, I have that space to do so. Then I used the Cheers die from Anna Wight. It was under the Impression Obsession label, but they are Anna Wight's, or it is Anna Wight's design. And I just cut them out of 3 layers of cardstock, put some double-sided foam tape on some of the more thick spaces, and then I used some of my Nuvo crystal drops to go over the straws and the drink glasses, and I think they're just super cute. I was going to add some confetti, and I may go back and do like some bubbles, like they're, bubbling up like they're sparkly drinks. But I just thought they were super fun and super cute. And just happy summertime. Happy summertime. So here is a little close-up. I hope you guys have enjoyed this quick little walkthrough on how I did my ATCs with the Cheers theme. I love me some mixed media. I love getting grungy, and I thank you guys for joining me for my process. Mwah. Until next time, this is Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and I'm out.